round, and we see on the screen Leko and Ponomariov, and they will probably make very shortly a draw, as we have a pawns endgame now, and the players blocked the queen side, so the king will just rush the king side. Yeah, g5 played, so no one can enter in the position of the opponent, and they will just repeat the move and agree for the first draw of the day. So we will listen to the second press conference in a very short while. Stay with us, as we have a lot of actions on the other boards, especially in the game between Anish Giri and Alexander Morozevich.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the second press conference of today. And the game between Leko and Ruslan Ponomariov just finished in a draw. I'm sure there were many different variations behind the opening, and maybe you can show us something, because okay, it looked pretty equal, but I'm sure there are some tricks.
Well, I think the tricks are before the game, because there was a rest day yesterday, so I decided that it's a rest day, it's a good moment to switch from e4 to d4. So far in the tournament I was playing e4 quite successfully, getting always promising positions, but I thought that my opponent is probably expecting e4, so I should try to surprise him with d4. And okay, Ruslan played here so far this Queen's Gambit declined, and he also plays accepted Queen's Gambit, and he also plays Grünfeld, so there were three, and he also plays Queen's Indian, so there were 3-4 major openings that I was considering in my preparation. And then it happened, boom, yeah, knight f3, bishop b4 check, and okay, it's now one of the most fashionable lines, but it became fashionable while I was planning to play e4 first move, so I didn't really devote any time. Only thing what I remember, there was this Aronian Carlsen game from the first round of the candidates, and even that game I didn't know exactly if I'm following or not following. Okay, let's hear Ruslan.
Okay.
Definitely he saw this game also.
Well, I don't know, I'm only prepared almost for d4. Because recently you played only d4 against me.
Yes.
I don't remember last time you played e4 against me.
Yeah,
so I saw mainly you play.
Yeah, that was the point. I thought now you think that I'm gonna switch. Yeah, but
like in Dortmund, it was Queen's Gambit accepted. In Saratov we had some, I think, Catalan, and in another Dortmund also some Catalan.
Yes.
But
so I was not sure if third move knight f3 is a surprise or not, yeah, because okay, third move g3 I could have.
But g3 I had planned anyway to play bishop b4 and take on d2.
I understood.
This I thought, okay, at least it's more or less.
Yeah, because this was the problem also. Ruslan haven't played any tournament game basically since Tashkent Grand Prix, so it's a half a year.
And I don't know what to expect.
And it's clear that he has spent this time not on the beach, but
well, I also spent some time on the beach.
Well, definitely, yeah, but not all the 5 months. So it was not that easy. I didn't have enough information, enough intelligence to understand which way to hit. I also didn't know what to expect in the Catalan, so that's why I played third move knight f3 to still give him some options. And I gave, bishop b4 check. So yeah, I mean, you could see from my reaction, I spent 10 minutes, I think, to...
You just
Well, I
played
also
with
didn't know
knights.
what you are going to play. Knight bd2,
Exactly.
bishop d2, maybe even knight c3, but I don't know.
Exactly. Well, I definitely
But
considered
okay.
knight c3 because that's something that I at least used to play against the Nimzo. But since I saw that I played with third move knight f3, then it's also not that logical to transpose to knight c3. And after all, this Bogo Indian shouldn't be such a great opening that now I should just transpose to knight f3 Nimzo. So I went for bishop d2. Takes. I think Hikaru took with the knight on d2 against Giri in the first round. I mean, I knew some games, but I didn't have a picture. Why? And okay, normally the knight belongs to c3, but with knight bd2 I'm saving the tempo. So, and I think after knight bd2, Giri went for some d6 e5 setup.
Yeah, I think difference knight bd2. If I play d5, then you can play g3 and have good
And a good Catalan. Yes,
Catalan,
exactly.
because queen goes on c2 and e4.
Yes.
But
And
if you
then-
play queen d2, d5, you should, if g3, you should make extra move queen c2, knight d2 to play
Yes.
e4.
Yeah. Or sometimes they go with this g3 and then knight ac, rook c1, but it's always nothing somehow.
Well, I mean, it just started like a theory, many options for white.
Yes.
What to choose?
I
You can
also
play e3,
remember-
g3. But-
Also remember one game now for Cheparin of Dominguez in the Russian league. It was also something like this, and Lanier Dominguez was very confident in holding black's position against the g3 setup. And since I didn't remember exactly what move order it was, I was afraid that it might lead to some force draw. And I hope that after e3 I might get at least a playable position, even if not advantage. But this thoughts didn't really last long. So e3
Well,
castle,
I think critical moment was after queen
e7,
c2. You
rook
play.
c1 is still normal. I mean, rook d8. I think this is still the Carlsen game, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if queen c2 or maybe I should have played a3.
Well, e3 I can maybe
But
take
I
on
thought that
c4,
this is too slow. Yeah.
take on
Then take
c4
and
and
c5,
c5
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
Queen on
I
d2
mean-
also.
No, but because after queen c2, I didn't see what to do if Ruslan goes dc, bishop c4, and c5. But I remembered in that game was some a6 or knight bd7. I mean, there were some tricky move orders.
But Carlsen, I think he didn't get any problems also.
But Carlsen, I think, played here, if I'm not
He
remember,
played
a6.
or knight bd7. I
No,
don't
he
know.
played a6.
He played
And
a6,
I
yeah.
think Aranyan played something like a3, which is a little bit dubious.
Well, here I wanted to take.
But yeah, I thought maybe white
Yeah,
will
I
take
think
and I
it
will
is.
have some Carlsbad structure. A
Yes.
queen on c2 is
Is good
better
I
because
stopped
no
bishop
knight e4.
f5, yeah, knight e4, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
this is what
I
was
thought, okay,
looking for.
maybe sometimes you should not always follow number one. How play it, maybe sometimes to improve. I don't know.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, d takes c4. Maybe I'm losing one tempo, but I thought, okay,
Yeah,
it
because
can be simpler somehow.
yeah, because a6 cd and then okay, we get the cd5 and okay, it's probably nothing special, but it's a playable position. But after d takes c4, bishop c4, c5, I mean, doesn't matter what I was not considering. I didn't see if black plays precise, and Ruslan is very good in this type of position, just fantastic. And I would also rather be black in this position because I believe that black will equalize much easier than white will get even the slightest advantage. So I usually have experience from the black side also. I mean, okay,
Well, I
castle-
still some accurate move required.
but what if I take dc, queen c5? I didn't see any.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, after castle, I
Castle
thought
cd is very important.
they play knight c6, but then I thought you will
Then
take
I
on c5, queen
exactly.
c5,
Yeah,
knight
Exactly.
e4,
and knight e4. Yeah, and
I
this I,
know.
thought it's maybe some pressure.
maybe queen f5, I don't know, knight f6,
Yeah,
queen f6,
And
maybe
then
even
maybe
bishop
just
d3,
yeah, get the bishop
and then
to
a3,
d4.
bishop e4,
But
queen
I was not
b3.
sure if bishop dc, knight b4 works or not. Probably not.
Knight b4 probably just take on queen b3, I don't.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean knight before. I mean this is what I was hoping for.
So
that
I
knight
thought
c6 is
what to choose.
not that good, and that's why I had this feeling that queen c2, dc4 should be early, because here normally I had in my mind that okay, castles and knight c6 I will take, but then cd4 happened, and I already understood that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, now no sense take vc.
With e pawn, yeah,
because it's otherwise it's better to play rook d1, not rook c1 probably. But okay.
exactly. I mean, okay, e d4, then just knight
It's
c6
also
with tempo, and also knight b4 is with tempo. So this is nothing. Knight d4 and bishop d7. Yeah, and now I was thinking, but
I also thought about queen b3 somehow.
yeah, but then bishop e8.
Yeah.
This is
just
this is
bishop
very
e8.
strong. Yeah, bishop e8 is very strong.
And maybe even bishop b5. we can
bishop
play.
b5, knight
knight
bd7. Yeah, exactly.
So more or less we consider similar
Yes,
moves.
and then I was thinking that knight to come back to e2, because now at least knight c6 is not happening. He cannot kick my knight.
But maybe
But knight e5 is just perfectly okay. I can never get my bishop to f3, and this bishop on e8, queen on e7 are covering all the squares, and then black just goes rook c8, h6, and what do I have? I don't know. I'm not a specialist in this position with white, but I just don't see what.
Bishop e5 is the new move actually. Yeah.
Well, I mean, new or not new, I don't know. It
But
just
yeah, in
looks
principle,
dead to me somehow. I don't know.
yeah, black have very simple ideas like just develop
I
pieces.
actually had
And
one
white
idea.
should be more creative. Somehow.
Yes, I mean I had one idea, but I mean this was a model line. I think that a3, if I do nothing, okay, knight c6, knight f3, not to change, rook a c8, bishop a2. I considered this just to keep these pieces here, but I think it's very typical that black goes a6 and next knight a7, and against this I couldn't find any idea at all. And this knight a7 is then knight b5 is coming. Where do I put my queen? If I put on e2, then the bishop on a2 is stupid. If I play bishop b1, there is no chance that I'm gonna hit this. And I knew that Ruslan will play this a6, knight a7 a tempo, basically even in Blitz, because.
Well, I don't know, but I mean even without a6,
But okay, this
black is
the
quite solid. I mean,
the
no
easiest.
no weakness, more or less symmetrical
Yes.
pawn structure.
Yeah, but okay, it's nice to have
Should-
a simple plan. Yeah, a6, knight a7, and okay, first maybe you would play h6, of course. Yeah, h6 I would play h3 and then a6. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, it's to make it more professional. But black has this resource, so I understood bishop b5 is nothing. But I mean, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of ideas. I just didn't see what to do at all.
Yeah, and it seems like
So this d takes c4 was just very, very strong. I mean, I don't know, bishop b5, a6. This was the only small idea that I finally managed to come up with. First of all, I had this idea right from the beginning, but it looked so little and so nothing that I was searching for something else. But okay, and then queen f8.
Yeah, still I mean,
Closes all
fighting.
my hopes. Yeah.
fighting for the c file.
Yeah, rook c8 is coming, so queen c7 I have to play. Rook a b8. Now already rook dc8 is threatening, but also knight d5 and rook bc8, so knight b6 kind of I have to play, so takes. Knight d5, queen b3. Queen b4, a3 I had a small hope, but queen b6. I mean, because yeah, if takes, I don't claim that I have anything here, but at least I can pretend to play on without waiting that the arbiter will interfere. But after queen b6, basically there is nothing to
Yeah, I'm
hope
wondering
for.
if you played rook d1, rook b8.
And
It's
then
such a
h3, h6, but how to
It's
call
a-
the arbiter? It's not repetition, it's the same position, but it's
Very
symmetrical position, but it's not. Yeah. So basically rook c2 was the only move that I'm stopping. I'm even not stopping rook bc8, but at least after rook bc8, then I can claim that again I had some small idea. Now luckily knight e3 doesn't work because of fe and there is no mate, but
But-
knight b4 is coming. When
yeah, I
should
thought maybe even
probably-
this possible. Rook c1, knight d3
Yeah, rook c1, knight d3 is tricky, yeah, because
Rook
rook d1
d5.
and rook d5, yeah.
to make you to play e4. But
e4,
also,
knight b2.
I even knight b2.
But then, yeah, exactly.
E4 I even thought rook d7 and you can play king f1, king e2, knight f4. Check.
Yes, Yeah, but
But I thought,
there
okay,
are also some tactical
maybe it's too,
shots.
it's
I don't
too,
know, I
it's
mean,
maybe I thought it's too complicated. I don't know.
Anyway, actually, I thought that if night before I blunder anything, I go rook d2. Yeah, it's, it's not. But yeah, e5 happened. First, I was surprised, but then I understood what I missed because, okay, I had no intentions for anything, just still keep on playing, and I lost a little bit my concentration. So after e5 takes, knight f6, rook fc1, rook bc8, I cannot go king f1 because of rook d1 check. And suddenly, for the first time in the game, I'm losing the c file, and I'm getting handicapped here because the c file is actually
But
much
okay,
more
you
important.
had pretty lots of time, not to blunders.
Yes.
It's not like some bullet
Of
games.
course, yeah. Of course, yeah. I mean, it's maybe it's not
It's-
tragical, but now suddenly black can start to play, and okay, so takes knight d2 and okay,
Yeah, I don't
just,
know.
just
The
a
draw.
dead
Just
draw,
to find a way how to call arbiter.
yeah, even here it's not so easy because 3 times repetition is a bit stupid. So we kind of kept on playing principle, yeah.
But still, I mean, difficult to.
Only
be
in
correct.
the Poland game. Actually, I had I think in the first Grand Prix in London against Magnus in the last round, where we also had the same structure with knights, and we also managed to exchange the knights.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
then we could repeat because before you just cannot. I mean, maybe the opponent will.
You're already
punish you.
expert.
Expert
of
in
this,
this
but-
in this dead long position. Yeah, but then I was black, so it was a little bit different. So d takes c4. I don't know what is theory or why it was never been played before,
But seems that black has no problem.
but
after this, yes.
seems very nice. I mean, it seems
But
to be
I mean,
equalized on the spot.
You spending some time like queen d2 and queen c2. I don't know. Well, I also spent some time bishop before.
Yes,
more or
but
less
you
tempo.
got the e7 square for the queen.
Yeah.
This is the golden square. I'm also playing
Usually
all
it's
my
quite
life,
useful,
yeah,
like in
yeah.
Queen's Gambit you can play knight e4, this Lasker.
Yeah, exactly. And white is not supposed to change the bishop because then the queen gets a very
Tartakova.
comfortable square on e7 in the Tartakova. So they even go bishop g3 giving the bishop, but so that black gets a cramped position. So, but why is this line underestimated? Okay, probably after this game it won't be anymore. Yeah.
I don't know, I already started to consider when Carlsen started to play something, it's always
Yeah, it's a
Interesting.
sign.
Safe,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a sign of fashion.
yeah, it's
And
a sign,
Anish
yeah.
played here, I don't know.
Yeah.
And also my question, I mean, coming back a little bit far from the game, I'm sure you were following Leuchen Memorial, which started recently 3 days ago. And what do you think about such a good start of Adams, actually, considering also that you played so many games against him? I mean, maybe could you imagine that he will be the leader of the tournament after 2 rounds?
Well, I mean, the tournament just started. First of all, Michael is a fantastic player, so it's no surprise if he's playing well. And also, let's not forget that both of his games were Spanish, actually, where he is one of the absolute leading experts. So, okay, he played 2 good games, and that's it. But the tournament is still just started, so we will see how it develops. But Michael is very good in his type of position,
Yeah.
so
And
he can beat anyone.
can you predict maybe who is going to win this event?
No, I'm not. That's not my job. I'm a player. Actually, I would like to say 2 words to the kayaking game because
Yeah.
after dc4 I understood that I have nothing, and I played d4, and then in the other board Karyakin smashed out this novelty that I had prepared for the Astrahan Grand Prix in 2010 with knight takes h6, and
You
and
could
then
not play.
and then it's already 3 years passed, and I never had the chance to use it, and then someone else is using it. It was quite a nightmare scenario, and I have this completely nothing, even without the slightest idea, and there all the action is happening. Actually, I was not alone who find it. We were in the training camp with the Hungarian team, with Csaba Balog and Belkes together before Astrahan, and we find the idea.
Don't you think it's strange that Mamedyarov didn't know this knight h6 move? Even you knew it 3 years ago. I mean.
Okay, but it can happen. It can simply happen because maybe you don't pay attention to no, because it was also different move orders, because white played already the king b1 line when black went for queen b6. So it's usually sometimes queen b6 is played earlier. Okay, there are many finesses. I don't claim that I remember everything. I only know that I had the exact idea, and we were hoping that maybe we will use it one day, but apparently not we will use it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ruslan, do you also take care of the other games which are playing here, or you concentrate only on your position, on your game?
You mean during
During the
the game or during the tournament?
During the game, I mean, when you are playing.
Well, it's always interesting to see how other good straw players play. Well, I need to concentrate on my own games. If I have time while my opponent thinking, I can look.
Because actually what happened in candidates, because of the screens, everyone was waiting for the move of the others to play something, you know. It was very funny in candidates, and even some players, they were telling, okay, everyone played this system, I decided to switch for another one just because, okay, it couldn't be 4 games with the same moves, but okay, it was a bit tricky.
I don't really think so, maybe. Tell this after the game.
Exactly,
Usually for
yeah,
such
after the
tournaments
game
you really prepare, not like just looking what other played and try to repeat their lines.
Of course.
But usually, I mean, of course, you are paying a little attention to the other games. You are mainly focusing, unless something very interesting for your own repertoire is happening. Then you take a little bit closer look. I think you also automatically try to reflect what you had prepared and what you had in store there. And after that, okay, you just go back to your game and concentrate.
I don't know. Once it happened with me. I played in a lot in last round against Rajabov, and we had some English opener, and somehow I don't know. I saw like Ivanchuk playing the same opponent with Swidler, and for some reason I don't know. I decided to repeat one his move, which actually I didn't want to play in the beginning.
But you trust him, yes, it maybe.
I don't know. Somehow it also was early morning game because it's last round. But the whole game I blame myself. Why I played this? Because I didn't like this idea. After all, I don't know why I didn't play my own move.
So sometimes it happens. You still.
But not with good experience. And okay, it was maybe in the morning when you are not really thinking well.
Maybe when you are still dreaming somehow.
Yeah.
No, okay, in general, these early morning games taking the chess players completely out of the rhythm, yeah, because we are just absolutely not used to playing in the morning or even already a little bit earlier, and then it affects the preparation. Then you also don't know exactly what you should do, and then many times you go for some emergency scenario that, okay, I will just sleep and I will even not prepare, I will just play something and that's it, which is of course also quite sad for a last round, which is many times the decisive game of the tournament.
And maybe your opponent was sleepless and whole night was preparing, so it could be different for him.
Well, for me it's not like a problem to play early in the morning. Like after Tashkent, in fact I played some tournaments games. I went to Czech League and I
But
played.
they were not published.
Okay, I don't know. I
They are
have
not in my
some
database because I saw on the live
maybe you
reading
have
that you played these two
you
games,
have
but I
maybe
couldn't.
better database.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean
Yeah,
in
man.
Czech League it's always start all games at 10 o'clock in the morning. But it just for me personally, for me not comfortable like to start games in different time. I remember when I was small kid and I played some Ukrainian championship under 12, I don't know, under 14. We always started at 10, I mean every round. It was not like a problem. But then it's more or less I get accustomed, like in tournaments you start at more or less at 3 o'clock.
But now you live in Spain, and most probably you should have changed your schedule somehow.
But to the later, no? I mean, in
Yeah,
Spain you are
somehow.
always
Even later.
going
So
in the
it's
other
more like a
direction.
problem when it's always changed, like different time controls, different